black coffee.
This is the Kavoya Coffee Podcasting Network. Coffee people talking to coffee people about coffee and things coffee adjacent. This episode of Another Cup is brought to you by Kavoya Specialty Coffee, where coffee is always a collaborative voyage. Welcome to Another Cup, a blog featuring customers, suppliers, and all the relationships in between. This is episode 23, and Angela is talking with Kaitlin Higgins from Rebel Dog Coffee about journeys of all kinds in specialty coffee. Angela?
Hey, everybody. I am so excited because today we have Kaitlin from Rebel Dog in the studio, and this is just such a cool moment for me. I think we've known each other for about a year and a half since we started working together, and you've become, just such a joy and delight, and I love working with you. And I feel like this has been a long time in the making. Like, I've been wanting to get you in here for forever. So please introduce yourself, tell everyone who you are, and a little bit about you.
Okay. Hi, I'm Kaitlin Higgins. I work at Rebel Dog Coffee Company in Connecticut. Thank you, Angela, for inviting me on Another Cup. I am so excited to be here, and I do feel like every time we talk about me coming on the podcast. Yes. So glad it's finally happening. I feel like I still don't have an official job title because I just do so many different things.
Literally.
But
yeah, like what were you doing this morning at 5:30 a.m.?
This morning I was covering a little baby barista shift at our newest location. And one of the groups just hasn't been working. And we thought another group wasn't working.
Oh, no.
So I was trying to tap on the little solenoid valves to see if Kafiza had gotten up there and to it. And then one of them was fine, but then someone actually ended up showing up from Sure Shot to
amazing.
Actually open up that middle one that we haven't had use of for a while. So I was just staying there to make sure that she didn't need anything else from me. Uh-huh. And then I was retyping up espresso machine closing instructions for everyone, cleaning instructions to be leave the screens in, don't use too much Kafiza. So, sometimes that's my job.
Low-key tech, systems operations.
And yes, a big part of my job is doing onboarding, espresso, and coffee training with our new baristas. Mm-hmm. I do our green coffee buying, which is obviously how I know Angela and Kavoya. I do marketing things. I manage our social media. I do email marketing campaigns. Some light graphic design here and there.
I feel like you're so good at the graphic design.
Thank you. It's Canva and a dream, baby.
But you're so fast with it.
I tried to be.
Turnaround time is quick.
But recently I've had help now with Linny, one of our baristas, doing photos, and Carson, one of Harrison's friends, doing videos. Yeah. We're actually about to post a really funny video for our cold brew cans. But yeah, so I'm all over the place.
Yeah, I feel like every time I talk to you, you're just oh, yeah, well, now I'm doing this, and now I'm doing that. I'm like, gosh, what don't you do over there? Just holding down the fort.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's back up.
Yeah.
What were you doing before coffee, and how did you get into this?
Right after college, I was doing a couple terms of AmeriCorps at a public health nonprofit in Waterbury, Connecticut. Mm-hmm. And while I was doing that, I got a second job, because you need that when you do AmeriCorps.
Oh, yeah.
At a very non-specialty cafe in Connecticut, near my hometown in Connecticut. And I really enjoyed it. It was certainly not we weren't dialing in the espresso. We weren't steaming milk properly for latte art or anything like that.
Yeah,
but
just dump it in.
It was
so much
fun.
flavor.
The community was fun. The customers were fun. The staff was fun. It was a great time. And then I ended up moving to London to get my master's degree in communications for international development. And I think that London is really where I fell in love with actual specialty coffee and independently owned coffee shops, because there's obviously such a high concentration of them there, at least a lot more than in suburban Connecticut.
Oh, yeah.
In 2015. And I just spent so much time in them, whether it was just hanging out with friends, studying, writing papers, writing my dissertation, like my whole summer writing my dissertation. I was just in different coffee shops. And then it became a really fun, cool way to be like, where am I going to write today?
Yeah.
And I'll go explore a new coffee shop in a new part of the city. And then I came back to Connecticut, and there was not that experience available to me anymore.
Where am I going to go to get flowers in my latte?
I know. Where am I going to get a flat white in Connecticut in 2016?
No.
Nowhere. And genuinely, I think I was just, because I was Googling and social media searching so much for any sort of cool coffee shop near me where I could go and work on my resume and work on job applications.
Yeah.
I just got served a Facebook ad for this new coffee shop a town over from me called Rebel Dog Coffee Company. I was like, perfect, great. This actually really looks like exactly what I'm looking for. And I go to the website and it's like, we're not open yet, but we are hiring. I was like, well,
Hey.
I can be a barista again while I apply to quote unquote real jobs, because you'll never catch me saying being a barista isn't a real job.
Raise
but at
your
the
hand
time,
if you became a barista while you were looking for a real
Yes.
job.
but at the time that was, where my mind was at. And I guess a little bit the rest is history.
Right.
That was 9.5 years ago, which
Wow.
is really, really wild to think about.
Yeah. And you're like a day one Rebel Dog.
I worked the very, very, very first shift ever.
Yeah.
We couldn't open the day we were supposed to because there was a snowstorm.
Classic.
So then I worked the opening shift the next day, which was our first day.
You're like, well, I'm still free.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, the journey, right? Mm-hmm. The journey. And it's so special that you've been able to stay in one place for your whole career. I know for me personally, I bounced around so much. I can't even fathom. But it's so cool that you've been able to do that. How would you say your sort of evolution at Rebel Dog happened? You're a barista. One day, 9.5 years later, you're literally doing everything.
Yeah.
Holding it together. I mean,
Yeah. I think it really just came down to the building in Plainville, Connecticut that our first location is in. It's still owned by Peter Lemnotis, who is one of the co-owners of Rebel Dog, along with my more direct boss, Harrison Polterak.
Yeah.
She's full name. And before it was Rebel Dog, it was this fine casual Mediterranean restaurant that Peter owned. He comes from a long line of Greek restaurateurs in the New York area. And before the restaurant opened in the afternoon, he had this food truck he would pull out in the front parking lot and do simple breakfast sandwiches and cold brew that he made by roasting coffee beans over the flame on the stove in the kitchen in the restaurant.
you can truly start anywhere.
You literally, I promise we're getting back to me. I promise. But he wanted to start semi-retiring. He wanted to still have a restaurant in the building, but he wanted to brick and mortar the coffee. It was kind of getting a following. People would be stopping by that little food truck every morning on their way to work. And so he brought Harrison in as a partner to kind of head up the specialty coffee of it.
Yeah.
So certainly that building and Peter and his wife Joan particularly already had this existing community of people who really enjoyed supporting them, knew the space, knew that something new was coming in there, but that Peter and Joan were still involved. And so that was really nice that we were a new business but existed in a place where there was already a little bit of a built-in community. I mean, certainly a totally different venture than what
very
it had
different
been before.
demographic,
But
Please tell us how the name Rebel Dog came to be. This is my favorite
From
Rebel Dog lore.
my best recollection, I had no business in naming it because that was what the name of the food truck was. It was Rebel Dog. And what I remember being told is that it was Peter and a bunch of his friends like sitting at the bar in the restaurant one night, brainstorming, spitballing, trying to come up with a name, and someone said something like, well, dog is the most like Googled or like internet searched word in the world. I'm not sure if that's true, but maybe it was that. I don't know. And I guess they were just throwing adjectives around, and Rebel Dog stuck. The original logo, I'm sure somewhere I could find a photo of it, but it was like a junkyard bulldog with a spiky collar, like cartoon. Very, very different from
aesthetically.
So that changed as we ventured into the specialty coffee world to a more minimalist
Yeah, so I mean, you
logo.
guys started like food truck, literally roasting coffee beans over an open fire in the food truck.
In the kitchen of the restaurant's
Okay.
kitchen, yeah.
Rebel Dog, junkyard, spiky collar,
Yeah.
and now it's like you guys are roasting on a huge line.
Yeah.
Your dog is wearing like a collared shirt.
Yeah. Oh,
Your
yeah.
Rebel Dog is
one of
like
our little artworks by
so
Jamie
cute
Law
and precious.
Jones. Yeah,
Yes.
those are so cute.
Like that's quite the vibe change in branding, and I feel like it's so fun to see something go from one thing to another in a span of 10 years. Mm-hmm. And I mean, you've been a part of that too, right? This whole transition.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like growing. I mean, how many locations do you guys have now?
We have 4.
4 locations.
Yeah.
Plus your amazing roastery room.
Yeah, plus
which
our
is
roastery.
so fun.
Yeah.
Anything slated for the future? Or are you guys like, let's just keep this contained for right now? Let's like really lock in.
Yeah, I think growth is always on the horizon.
Yeah.
I think that there's definitely things we want to do to really tighten up our existing operations and just make everything as good as it can be. We get asked a lot to move into new developments or, the spaces that are emptying out.
Yeah.
And so like some of our locations, like our Farmington location, our second one we only opened that like 2 years after opening the first one because it was just a sort of opportunity I don't think would have made sense to say no to.
Right.
Where the location is and everything.
Yeah.
So it's always a possibility.
I know. I feel like it's every year. It's like, oh, we're doing this cool new thing. And I'm like, wow, you guys are you're just cranking.
Yeah.
Pedal to the metal all the
it's
time.
exciting. There's always something on the horizon.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're really trying to also find our identity as a specialty coffee roaster.
Yeah.
We didn't start roasting our own coffee. And because we do have quite a large food program and really offer a lot of different things at our different locations because of that existing restaurant history in that first building, I think that something I really want to do in like the very near future is really, get a foothold in like we're a specialty coffee roaster and like, more of us coming to Northeast Coffee Festival every year, starting to go to more events and do more like e-commerce and putting ourselves out there like roaster foot forward.
Totally.
So yeah.
And like with that too, like one thing that we always love to talk about with each other is, what are we passionate about in the industry? Like we are both very passionate people and we care a lot about a lot of things. Like if you're ever just catching me and Kaitlin, it's always about something. We're both very opinionated, but one thing I like love to talk to you about is sort of like what are you passionate about as a coffee buyer? You carry a lot of weight in what you purchase and how you purchase, and I would love for you to tell people what decisions you're making and why you're making them and just like where you're coming from, because I think it's really cool.
I love the green coffee buying and sourcing aspect of my job. But yeah, I think there is so much more that goes into it and more to consider that I think a lot of people on the outside realize. And I think that even since I was a baby barista, starting out with Rebel Dog, starting to like take on random responsibilities just to make my life easier as a barista, even, which goes back to a little bit answer your question from earlier that I never really answered about my trajectory.
To fix things.
But anyway, I think as soon as I started learning more about just the depth and spread of the coffee sector and just how endless it is in terms of the amount of people who are involved at every single point in the process. And, you know, you could be into agriculture, you could be into biology, you could be into economics and finance, and there's something for you in coffee.
Right.
Like when I which saying it now, I'm like, duh. But, you know, just coming into it when
scope is so small.
Right. And when coffee is just something that is like a given in American life, I guess, in the U.S., you don't think about it necessarily. And so that has become something that I'm really, really, really passionate about, is connecting that, like bringing that scope and that depth of like everything that's going on in coffee to the like end consumer, I guess, like our customers at Rebel Dog, or, you know, whoever is watching our Instagrams or whatever. But yeah, I think that there's, you know, obviously being a coffee buyer now too, I see more intimately the reasons why prices of coffee fluctuate and have gone up, and why certain things are more readily available or why certain things are better than other things. I really want to be like that connector piece between like everything. Like, you know, I feel like the coffee shop is the very tip of the iceberg, I guess. And then there's just so much going on underneath that. And I would love to find ways to bring all of that other stuff to the forefront for your like the average coffee consumer. Yeah,
it's almost like you have to take so much information and so much that's happening. You have to distill it and decide what's going to come through, how am I going to present it. I mean, I think that you guys do a really good job at that. I feel like you're welcome. It's like you guys put stuff on your bags. You guys have info cards. Like I see what you guys are doing in the Hartford community to just make that demographic more aware about what you guys are doing behind the scenes, right? Because people, it's like you guys have an awesome food program. You guys have all these other things going on. So, like, what are the things that you're doing to sort of push forward, being the connector point, kind of being the bridge between the consumer and what's happening at origin or what's happening within our supply chain?
Yeah, I think, like you said, we do definitely like make that information readily accessible. I think that we try not to make it too in your face because I do think there is this idea among, again, the average coffee drinker in the U.S. and especially in the more suburban and in some places more blue-collar areas that our shops are in. People are just used to buying whatever's on sale in the grocery store. And I mean, there's in a way like nothing wrong with that, especially with how high the price of everything is these days. Literally in this economy. So I think that there's a perception that specialty coffee or third wave coffee is inaccessible and it's snobby and it's not for everyone. And I think that something, again, that's really important to me and that I'm passionate about is making it more accessible and more approachable to everyone and sort of gently but enthusiastically like welcoming everyone in. That's really important to me. So we do have like QR codes on all our bags where if you like scan it and go to the product page on our website, it tells you pretty much everything you would want to know about the quote unquote coffee nerd, would want to know, like the exact community or farm or region that it's from, the altitude, the varietals of coffee, and then like paragraphs of information about processing. And, if we know if it's a super traceable coffee, then about that farm, about that community, the exact people in it, or if it's more of like a regional blend, then even just about coffee in that area and everything. So it's definitely there. It's definitely accessible. I think I would like to maybe push that a little bit more. I'd like to find a way to make it even more readily available, but still without, I don't want someone to see a bag and see all this information listed.
It's like info overload.
Like I like seeing that, and I know a lot of people like seeing that, but I think for some people it can be a turnoff. Sometimes people just don't, even when they ask the question, like they don't really want the full answer.
Right. They want bullet points.
Yeah. And, so like I want it to be there. But I don't want to assume people don't want that information. So it's a funny little like tightrope to walk.
Yeah.
That I like would love to figure out how to.
It's so cool how like QR codes has really changed the way that people access information. I love them so much.
I do too. I know a lot of people don't, but
really?
I put them on everything.
Yes.
And I love when I don't like QR code menus.
No, I hate those too. Oh my God, people get mad at me all the time. I'll go to a restaurant and like they want you to QR code the menu, and I literally every single time.
And there's
I'm
no
like,
service
can I get
though.
a paper menu, please.
It doesn't load.
Yes. And then like they'll come over, the store will come over, this is our only paper menu, we need it back. And I'm like, no, I know, but like I need it. I just can't be looking at my phone this much.
I know, yeah. Personally, I don't know what the rest of the Rebel Dog team wants to do, but like I think like a retail coffee bag redesign is in the pretty near future.
Ooh, okay.
We started it as being like very simple, very basic.
Yeah.
And I think that if we could reimagine something that is still really approachable, easy on the eye, like, but also eye-catching on grocery store shelves or on our retail shelves. But then, just more information, like, accessible on our retail shelves.
Yeah.
There's a lot to think about.
Well, I can't wait to see what you do.
Me too.
And now that you've said it, it's out in the universe, you're going to have to do it.
I know. Sorry, guys.
I'm going to hold you accountable. Dear Harrison, I'm not sorry.
Never sorry.
Another thing I like really would love to ask you about, as a woman in coffee, there's so many women who work in coffee, but there's always very few women who are in decision-making roles. I think it's really cool that at Rebel Dog, you have so many women in decision-making roles.
Yeah.
I know for me and myself, the majority of who I work with are men. Like, you are one of the very few women that I work with and work very closely with. And I think that's why there's like so much magic in our relationship, because it's like it's girl to girl in this industry that feels like you're always in a room with men or talking with men. I would love to hear your perspective on what it's like to be a female buyer in this world, and I mean, like the highlights, the pain points, struggles, like anything you want to talk about.
Yeah.
It would be cool because I think there's a lot of women out there who would love to get into this and would love to be a buyer or, anything, right? So I think one way to really promote that is to talk about it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that I have been really lucky in that I have not had the common experience of a woman in coffee. Yes, like the owners of the company I work for are men, and there's lots of male staff members and store managers. But even since the very beginning, like there are 5 of us original baristas and 4 of us were women. So like that was very cool. So then it was very natural that then store managers would most likely be women.
Yeah.
I think too, just when I do meet another woman in coffee like you or our first head roaster at Rebel Dog, Jenny,
Yeah.
like I just like latch on and I'm like, we're gonna make magic happen. I used to think I was really bad at like networking and being outgoing, but it seems so easy in coffee because I do think we are all actively seeking out and just like craving that relationship with other women in the industry. There have been times where I definitely do feel like I have stereotypical experiences where I'm feeling mansplained to, or just my perception of people in the industry makes me hold back.
Yeah.
Like with traders, with other like several other importers that we've bought from or even just been in contact with, like I feel like I can't ask questions because they're gonna think I'm some like stupid, silly little girl. And so this is me project like this. That's like absolutely no reflection on those individuals at all. But it's just having gone through life as a woman and being in an industry where I do know and see other women having experiences where they are talked down to or, not taken seriously because they're a woman, et cetera, et cetera. So just having – I really remember telling Nicole, my colleague, like our head roaster now, like when you reached out to us and I think I was like, oh, immediately the vibes were immaculate. And I was like, I know that I can ask her anything. Yeah. And – even if you do think I'm a silly, stupid little girl, I'm not going to feel like that, So, I just felt like there was an immediate just, like, camaraderie and, like, I just felt really comfortable even before we actually met in person for, like, and even now, I'm just
that
like,
makes me feel awesome.
I feel like I bother you now so much, which is another woman thing I have to get over.
I know,
is that I always feel like I'm bothering people.
Thing.
But
like you always feel like, I'm in this space, but do I really belong here? Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm actually doing this. Like, I mean, of course I go through that as well. And a lot of women I talk to go through that. What do you do to sort of get yourself out of that? Is it like a pep talk or is it like, let's take a nap and forget about it? Like, what do you do?
That's a really good question. I don't know. I feel like I haven't had that feeling in so long, which is amazing because, I work with you. I like our trader, like at
Sukafina,
is like Serena. So I think that Jenny, I have to give Jenny Jenny Benson. I have to give her all the flowers. She was our sales rep and service tech when we wholesaled from Irving Farm, and then she started our whole roasting program. And
I've told you before, right? Her and I had a little bit of overlap.
Yes, and that I feel like we need to talk about too. Is like we've been orbiting each other for so long.
Yes,
but I think having Jenny as essentially my first real mentor in coffee just set me up so well. And her then being the one who then Peter and Harrison would have to defer to ask questions about this thing they really don't know the ins and outs of, and having to just have that built in we trust you because first of all, you know what you're talking about, but also you're the one building this whole program. And so I think that in addition to her just setting us up really well technically with roasting and buying, she just laid the groundwork for other people in our company to be these women in the roastery know what they're talking about.
Right.
We trust them. We,
Yeah, I mean, I think having a female mentor as a female is so powerful. Obviously, I have a lot of male mentors here at Kavoya, and I love them dearly, and we get along fantastically. But growing up as a barista, I had some female mentors as well, and there was a difference. And being able to talk to them and be like, hey, yeah, versus your male mentors where it's there's like almost like this like unknowing knowing between women of like, okay, this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Which I think is really special.
Yeah.
What advice would you sort of give? We talk a lot about mentorship here. In the coffee industry in general, how do you find mentorship?
Yeah.
How do you get access to that?
Yeah.
It's almost like everyone wants it, but there's no clear path on where you get it from.
Yeah.
And it's something that we think a lot about here on our end at Kavoya, of just like, well, how do we create this environment where people feel like they can seek out mentorships from people? When I lived in Seattle, I mean, I'm obviously really extroverted, and I ask a lot of questions. So I would just go up to people and be like, hey, you do this thing, and I would love to know more about it. Can you talk to me? Can you teach me? And it always blew my mind how people were just like, oh, sure. Yeah. Let's set up a day and time and let's talk. And
I would never believe people when they would say, people love talking about themselves.
Oh, yeah.
And like, they'll be really excited if you go up to them and obviously not everyone, but I'd be like, no, like you're just saying that because that's what you're supposed to say about networking and mentorships. And now I'm like, oh no, that's true. And I mean, for myself, I'm like, when people do ask me questions, I'm like, oh my God, you feel so special. And, but yeah, I think that I used to either not consider myself to be extroverted or outgoing, or my personality has just changed a lot, in the last 10 years or so. But and I'm not as good as you at in person, like going up to people.
I know you're always laughing at me.
I'm not laughing. I'm in awe of you.
I turn around and I just see you giggling with Nicole.
You just make friends with everyone. But even like the sort of connection that brought me really down into the rabbit hole of specialty coffee and deciding like, I'm going to make my career here was I messaged Floozy coffee roasters in Australia because they just like came up on my Instagram feed, and they source coffee. They prioritize sourcing coffee from women or cooperatives or farmers who like they know the exact benefit that like their purchase of that coffee is having to women. So they really like celebrate women coffee producers. And I just like found them and I just like messaged them on Instagram or emailed them or something and was like, hey, I'm like just getting started in specialty coffee and I think I'm really interested in eventually roasting and like sourcing coffee. Like this was like maybe like a year and a half into me being at Rebel Dog. So really like way before we were roasting. And I was just like, this is so cool. And it gave me that like aha moment of like, oh, like all my degrees won't be useless in this space because working in sourcing and doing these really meaningful, like sourcing coffee really meaningfully. And I just I either emailed or messaged them on Facebook and got connected with Sil, who is one of the founders. I don't believe she's with them anymore, but and then we just ended up having this like professional friendship where she connected me with like IWCA and I helped out with some research with them. And so I think just like you got to go for it.
That is so cool. I had no idea that you did that. That's amazing.
Yeah. And then even one of our like longtime regulars at Rebel Dog who follows me on Instagram, I like posted about coffee a friend in LA sent me from Go Get 'Em Tiger.
Oh yeah.
And she messaged me. She's like, my sister-in-law works there.
Wow.
And I just was like, you know what? This might be really unprofessional or uncouth or something, but like, do you think you could like send a message connecting us, even just like on Instagram? And she did. And then I like went out there and like visited Jamie Lau. She's amazing. She does so much cool stuff in the like specifically LA coffee scene. Yeah. But yeah, so I was just like, go for it.
Right? It's just like kind of going where the wind blows.
Yeah.
You're like, oh wait, this is a connection. Like that's
and I
really
think especially in this industry, like we were just talking about, like you overlapped a little bit with Jenny. Like you're not from this area, but like you worked in Connecticut for a while. Like crazy. So I think especially in this industry, and especially with women in this industry, it's like a small little world. It's not. It's obviously a huge, but like there are so many little threads to start pulling at that will like get you so far, so fast sometimes, honestly. I mean, like, again, here I am with my, like, imposter syndrome. I'm like, what could I possibly have to offer anyone? But, like, I would love to hear from people who, you know, want advice or mentorship or connections, or I don't feel like I have a lot of connections, but, you know, I would be so happy to hear from people, you know, and, like, I think just there are a lot of also like actual professional like networks and groups too. Like the names of them definitely like escape my mind, but
shoot your shot. That's just what I say. Shoot your shot. What's the worst that can happen? They don't. Someone doesn't respond or whatever. But you just never know.
Most of the time, they will. Yeah. Like speaking from experience.
I love that. I think that you're an incredible resource.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. I love talking to you because it's like information flows both ways between us. Yeah. Which is really fun. You know, it's never one-sided. It's like always weird when it's really one-sided. You're like, no, like I can learn from you too. Yeah. And you opened my eyes up to a lot of things.
Thank you. I learned something. I learned I feel like you're like my third like aha moment, like doors have been unlocked and opened like in my specialty coffee career, because there's just been things where I was like, you can do that? And you're like, yeah, you can do, you know, or like
let's do that.
Or I think that something is like so complicated and like murky and whatever, and you're like, well, actually XYZ.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa,
it's just this.
Whoa, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's so cool to be able to, like just have like free-flowing conversations. I feel like this is literally just how we talk all the time. I feel like it's just us hanging out, but with microphones and headphones.
I know, right? So intense. Oh my gosh.
Like literally 100% of my specialty coffee career has been with one company.
Yeah.
And you have like the opposite experience.
Bouncing.
And
straight up bouncing around. You know, it's I was never with one company that allowed me the growth that I needed at the time that I felt that I needed it. Yeah. And I'm the kind of person that needs to move fast. Yep. And I need a challenge, and I need to figure things out, right? If I'm not figuring something out, I'm feeling pretty useless. So I really enjoy this process of like, oh my gosh, here's this thing that I'm up against, and I need to figure out how to do this, and then I need to do it and execute it and complete it, and then I need to find something else. So I think that's a huge reason why I bounced around a lot. Yeah. Also, I'm a little bit physically untethered. I love to explore new places. I love to explore cultures. I just enjoy it all. And so it sounds so just crazy. I think a lot of coffee people are like this, though. Yeah, so I know in our space, this is very normal, where you kind of hear like the winds of change calling you. You're like, okay, it's time for me to look for a new opportunity. But when I first started out as a baby barista, it was just it was life-saving for me, because I loved it so much, and I just got to talk to people and make coffee, which I thought was so much fun. And then I learned about specialty coffee. And I tell this story every once in a while. I'm not sure if I've told it on the pod yet. But when I first learned about specialty coffee and how it could have these really cool tasting notes, like fruits and, you know, whatever, I literally thought that you had to roast coffee over, like, different kinds of wood.
Like apple would smoke bacon.
Yes. No, like literally.
Like smoking meat with
in my head. That's how that works.
Yeah, that's a logical jump to make if you don't know.
This girl looked at me and she was like, no. And I was like, what are you talking about? Because my exposure up until then was like Starbucks or like, you know, really dark roasted Italian roasted coffee. So it just, my comprehension level was just not there. And then I just thought it was really interesting. And so I just literally made a spur of the moment decision and moved to Seattle, crashed in my friend's room, and then we got an apartment together.
That's awesome.
Yeah, shout out Stacy. Thank you, girl. And we just like ripped through the Seattle scene together, and we had a lot of fun. And learning how everything worked. Especially, it was like 2014, 15, 16 in Seattle. A lot of third wave shops where, there were so many. Yeah. So it's just so funny how I'm sitting in this seat now where, I'm a trader, like I'm working in importing, like I'm doing all these cool things, but literally my comprehension of specialty coffee started with me thinking that you were roasting coffee over different types of wood, and that's how they got their flavor profiles. In Seattle, I was exposed to a lot of women working in coffee who were doing really cool stuff. Yeah. Roast Magazine, Connie, Layla at Cherry Street. She was still working there, and they just knew so much, and they created a lot of opportunities for me to learn. And created a lot of spaces and invited me into spaces that, I had to be pretty vocal about it. I was like, hey, like, this is what I want. This is what I'm going for. When I learned about, like, sustainability and development, and I learned about the disparity between, coffee-producing countries and communities and the consuming countries and communities, it kind of really, that's where my passion really sparked.
Yeah, same.
Like my background's in sociocultural anthropology, so I care a lot about social systems and cultures and how they impact each other. And I just felt like specialty coffee was one of those spaces where you can be in it and you can create a lot of positive change in any role that you're in.
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
When you're a barista, you can connect with your customers and talk about those things. And when you're a manager, you can connect with your baristas and talk about those things. And now I'm in this role where I can connect people with really cool social projects that we're doing, which I'm super passionate about. Yeah. And that, for me, is, like, the coolest thing ever. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is, like, I get to be here, and I get to work with people who align. Yeah. And want to do the same things, and then we can do them together. Yeah. Which I love. So that's sort of been my journey. Yeah. But I think, like, bopping around to a lot of different things, I needed to cut my teeth. I needed to learn how to do stuff. Mm-hmm. And the only way to learn it is to do it. Yep. No one can really teach it. People can teach it to you. People can sort of guide you through it. Right. But, like, you have to really know. Yeah. So I purposefully made myself uncomfortable many times and put myself in positions where I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing, and I'm totally going to figure this out. Yeah. And that's sort of been my journey. Yeah. I feel like, I love it. And I feel like it is so funny how on paper, I feel like it looks like we have very different paths that we traveled to get. And obviously we don't have the same job, but like, but I'm also like, no, that's literally exactly No, I feel like our stories have always really
they're very parallel, and it's so fun. I love it. And I'm very grateful that I've been able to sort of have that similar experience with just one company. And, like, there's obviously a little bit of, like, luck and timing with, like, falling into it.
I would have loved to have stayed with one company. I'm like a really loyal person. And I really invest myself. And so it's always hard kind of being like, well, I've ran out of room to run here. Yeah. And I need to keep running. Yeah. So
I think that's like the nice thing is like even the few times where I've been like, like I want a little more. I'm going to like interview for jobs to be like educated, and then like Rebel Dog will do something. I'm like, I'm back in now.
I'm so back,
and now at this point, I'm just like,
yeah, you're gonna have to shut me off like an oyster.
Literally, I'm like, college, grad school. Like I was always like, I want to be different places. I want to be like, So even when I had been a Rebel Dog for like a few years, I was like, wow, crazy that I'm still
look at
here,
me, hometown girl.
Yeah, for real, but. I want to go back to, you mentioned, like, now that you're here at Kavoya and you really love that you can connect people with different social programs at Origin. I feel like we can't end this podcast without talking about Guatemala and Blue Ayarza because that made things feel so full circle for me. And I feel like the circle is just, like, getting bigger and bigger now. Yeah. So, Angela, when so Rebel Dog, we decided to host a thriller throwdown last October.
So fun.
A Halloween party latte art throwdown. And we're like, okay, but like anytime we do a throwdown, we want part of it to be a fundraiser. Mm-hmm. So I reached out to Angela and I was like, hey, like, you know, I know of a bunch of coffee-related organizations that, you know, it'd be great to support through this, but like, can you think of any in particular? And you're just like, yeah, here's some like nonprofits, NGOs. We're like, but if you want something really specific, you could donate the money to our social programs in Ayarza and in Huehue, right?
Yeah.
Too, yeah.
Yeah. Or no, it's in Santa Rosa.
No, but because the kindergarten and stuff are in like different areas. Yeah.
And the clinics.
But yeah, and that like that coffee was already one of our absolute favorites.
It was the first coffee that you'd ever bought from me.
Yes. Oh my yes, that's
it was
so
the OG,
I forgot
the Blue
about that.
Ayarza.
So it's even more full circle.
Yeah.
Yes. The Blue Ayarza natural process.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because we needed to replace the natural process coffee in our dark roast blend.
Yeah.
And we loved it. And so I was like, absolutely, let's do that. And then you and Sam sent me so much great information about those programs. And you sent me stuff that Byron had sent you, which now I'm like, oh, yeah, like that was that same Byron.
Yeah. Oh, that guy.
I know him now. But I just have so much fun. And that's, again, where I like being that little connector piece. And, like, we're having this throwdown. And now it's going to be an annual thing. And, like, it's always going to be for Ayarza. And hopefully it just gets bigger and bigger. And so we're spreading the word more and more. And we're selling more Blue Ayarza coffee, which also helps to continue funding these things. Yeah. But it was so cool. I love, like you said, just like being the person who's then telling our staff and our customers and people who come to these events about the health clinic and the coffee kindergartens and camps. And then also now like the really cool composting and other like sustainability initiatives at the Ayarza mill. And then, of course, getting to go there with you in February and see it. And I was just like, I'm still processing. It's like it's a 4 or 5 months later, and I'm still processing it. And now like moving to like forward booking this coffee because we know it's always going to be good. Yeah. You know, and I like remember telling Harrison and Nicole like, no, I met Byron. Like he's the guy who's always like putting his stamp of approval on these things, and I trust him implicitly. Like he's never gonna. That's awesome. Yeah, and I think that's something that goes back to something that's important to me as a buyer is longevity and continued relationships with producers. And so this is just like a mill, so it's a community, but still just say like committing to continuing to support.
No, it's like when you were down to do that, it was I was just floored. I was like, I can't believe this is happening. This is so cool because, you know, on the Kavoya side, like we invest a lot of money into these programs to, you know, keep the clinics open, keep the kindergartens open. But really the only way we're going to be able to ever grow it and you know, pop more of them in the regions that we work in because, you know, as you saw, we went to a lot of different places.
We did, yes.
Baja Verapaz, Santa Rosa, Paline, where the dry mill is. Yeah. You know, we are really invested in a lot of regions. Mm-hmm. So Ayarza is where we started this, but we want to grow it. We want to build more, and we want to do more. The only way we can do it is with like roaster support and roaster partnerships. Yeah. So you guys just wanting to do it year over year, it's like the coolest thing to me because it's like it literally helps us do more.
Right.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Being a part of it. And
it's great. And even like in Connecticut, I feel like we have a very collaborative coffee scene. We like Taki and Brianna literally started the Connecticut Coffee Collaborative. Yeah. And that's been another speaking of like ways to network and like and get mentorships, like start a coffee collaborative in your community.
Literally work together, not against each other.
Exactly. Yeah. But now me being like, hey guys, like this coffee's really good. You should also buy it.
Everyone get it.
Like I've really just been like, this anaerobic. And then I think then going to that roaster in Omaha, Nebraska that also had it. And I was like telling the roaster there, I was like, yeah, and we did all this to like help. And I went there and saw all of these programs that this coffee helps fund. So you should definitely also keep buying it.
I love you for that. I know. You're like my big woman.
I'm Blue IR's biggest hype man.
Literally. We got to bring her back. It's funny. One thing that I always, when I go to Origin, you know, I'm always like, wow, I've read so much about this. I've watched videos. I've seen pictures. When you're there in person, it just clicks.
Yep.
In a way that it would never click otherwise.
It's like how many coffees have I really dove into the information about it from Kavoya, from Sukafina, from Cafe Imports, wherever, you know, how many books have I read? How many articles have I read? You know, how many videos have I seen? And that truly, it sounds, I don't know, like it just, but then you go and it's all of those things that you know about and you're like, I get it. And you don't get it.
Well, coffee at its core, it's such a tangible experience.
Exactly, yeah.
You experience it sensorially and there's no other way to experience it. And so touching each part of the process, like, that was my first time touching coffee that was, you know, a honey process that was still drying. I was like, I can't believe how sticky it is. Like, well, of course it's called honey. Like, duh. It's just going through all of that and
it really made
everything.
It really made processes. It really made my brain finally like understand processing methods.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, got it.
Yeah. Heard chef.
I'm never gonna forget this experience. And, you know, like same way, not related to process, but like when Anna did her like defects cupping last year at NECF, like I'm never gonna get those tastes out of my mouth.
Right.
Like they're locked in.
Cupping.
Yes, like. But it's like just one of those, again, sensorial, like those memories are so strong.
Yeah.
And those experiences are so strong.
Yeah, I'm so happy that we got to do that together.
Me too.
It was really a fun, fantastic trip.
Yes. I really want to do a more in-depth Ayarza trip.
Oh, yeah.
With
the crew.
With the whole crew.
Yeah. Dear Byron, we're coming.
Yeah. Prepare.
Prepare now.
You're not ready.
We've got 6 months.
But yeah, that.
Well, did we do it all?
I think so.
Say all the things?
I think I said about 1% of all the stuff I word vomited in my notes, but I gave a lot of flowers to a lot of other women in coffee, and I want to make sure I like really drive home how much I love and appreciate my colleague Nicole.
Yes.
And how I don't exist without her.
I wish
in
she
this
was
space.
here today. It's so sad she's not doing this with us.
We're going to have to do this all again with Nicole and Ashley. Like they're
who
just
I haven't met yet. I don't
just
think.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I know.
All of the everyone at Rebel Dog, like truly. Like,
I love
I'm
hanging out with you guys. It's the most fun.
But yeah, Nicole and I joke, but I don't know if it's a joke that we like share a brain cell. Like we're like a like package deal. Like which is like part of it's just because like we love each other and like trust each other and everything, but like we kind of like split Jenny's responsibility. So like we do everything step by step together.
Yeah, lockstep.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just like it's so great and like huge reasons why I'm still there.
Yeah. I love you, Nicole. I wish you were here. I miss you.
I know. And, you know, thanks to Peter and Harrison for letting the girls run shit.
Yes. Amen. Well, thank you so much for doing this with me.
Thank you
really
so
fun.
much for having me on. I'm so glad we finally did it.
And I'm so glad the world gets to hear more about you and what you're doing at Rebel Dog and what Rebel Dog is doing and the Connecticut scene in general. It's just so cool to see it grow. Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. Sayonara, babies.
Bye.
You've been listening to Another Cup, part of the Kavoya Coffee Podcasting Network, where the executive producer is me, Mike Ferguson. Our theme music for this episode is Coffee for Two by Valerie Starfell.
Black coffee.
If you've enjoyed this or any show on the Kavoya Coffee Podcasting Network, please do all the things. Like, subscribe, review, don't keep us a secret, and take our listener survey at the link in the show notes. Finally, remember 2 things. You can email me with thoughts, ideas, kind words, and limericks at mike.ferguson@kavoya.com. And Black Coffee is performed by the one, the only, Ella Fitzgerald.
God, get it
Get
together,
it
Ange. And then I looked at my crazy eyes.
This has been a CCPN production.